Okay.
Hey guys, this is Schizoid. This is Thuggington,
Okay.
episode 1
This
of
is
the
not
podcast.
Thuggington. This is
Welcome,
ThugCast. ThugCast, the podcast.
Thuggington
Why
Cast.
don't you accept my
And
friend
today
request?
we're going to be talking about immigration in Sweden. So, Ramsey, what
Can you
is
think of a
your
fucking
opinion
topic?
on immigration in Sweden?
Dude, I'm not even the Swede, bro. Ask Swedish
But
guy.
I want your opinion on it. We have to go through and
Wait, I
ask
have
everyone's
schizomania,
opinion.
dude.
Okay, bro.
Well,
Let's ask Polar Bear.
well,
Polar
no,
Bear,
no, 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 no.
what is your opinion on
Well, hey, buddy. Okay. My opinion on immigration in Sweden is that they could literally go anywhere else. Like,
But what makes you think they went
Yeah,
to
but
Sweden
you
instead?
gotta have the fish, you gotta pick the herring, buddy.
dude, I just
Like, if they could have gone anywhere, like you say, they could have gone anywhere, but why did they not go anywhere else and they went to Sweden?
I have no idea.
Why is everyone
Alright, we'll
going
come back to that.
silent?
Okay, Polar Bear, what is your opinion on immigration in Sweden?
I think he went to go have a pee.
Alright,
Why'd you
we'll
start
come back
recording
to him.
now then?
Eduardo, what do you think? What's your opinion on immigration in Sweden?
Interesting question. I think illegal immigration is fucking retarded, and they should stop.
Well, most of them are illegal immigrants, so what does that now have to do with your opinion? Does that change your opinion in any
Speaking
way?
of
should
immigrants,
deport
did
them.
Mr. Swedish man here get robbed by some
Yes, I
immigrants?
was robbed by an
Could you
immigrant.
could you
did
could
get
you
robbed.
Or
disclose about
immigrants,
that,
rather.
Mr. Sweden, about
Or
why
almost got
the two immigrants
mugged,
decided
dude.
to rob you?
Fucking cool.
Yeah, why were you getting jumped and robbed?
Because it was in a bad part of town, or rather, I was not in a white neighborhood, that's the thing.
But before
There's
before
a
this
distinction between like class and occupancy, kind of. You have
it's like class,
Okay,
and
but
then
the
you have
question
skin
I have
color.
so the
yeah,
question I
exactly.
wanted
You
to
have your
ask
white neighborhoods. I'm not saying that to be like racist or anything. That's quite literally what they are. You have your white
okay,
neighborhoods
now
where
before
it's very
immigration,
proper. There's also this thing called tipping point where like 4.1% of immigrants need to arrive into a neighborhood before Swedish or like white people in general stop moving out. Fantastic.
okay, now I want to
But
know
fuck,
was there this change, was there this such thing as a
Who goes
white
there?
neighborhood and a black neighborhood before the immigration had happened in
I don't
Sweden?
even think there's black people in Sweden.
Oh, they
Well, you
are.
said a white
There are.
neighborhood,
They
right?
run
So I'm
the
asking
pizzerias.
now, was
They
there
run
such a thing
pizzerias.
before the immigration? Like, were all the neighborhoods white, or did they change? Then they start using like different colored type of neighborhoods after the immigration. Like, was that a before or after immigration
I
thing?
hear Caleb. By the way, I just hear Caleb playing Tarkov right now. He isn't sure at his gear.
I'm sorry.
I heard
How the
that.
fuck can you hear that?
I just know that noise too well,
How'd you hear it though?
dude.
Is
Don't
it
ask
going
me.
through my mic?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have your fan on your microphone.
Oh, fuck off, bro. I'll turn it off. Hold on,
Wait,
right
so
back.
when you
Just
got
move it away
mugged,
from
when you got mugged, King Saw, like what happened? Like, can you break it down?
So yeah, all right. So there was, I believe there was three. There might have been more because there was kind of in a crowded area. But they came up to me and were kind of like being like overly friendly, as just trying to get close, and me being, not the most like, what am I supposed to call it? Not the most social
Smartest.
person. Just kind of fucking blew them off, kind of. Uh, but here's the thing. I was coming home from visiting a shop in Stockholm where I bought my first ever airsoft pistol. And so I just had to show like the handle before they like turn the other way.
I'm pretty
Yeah, but
sure
now
that's,
we want
I'm
to know
pretty
was
sure
this
that's a
That is
crime.
a very much
But we
a
wanna-
crime. I am
Yeah, but we
incriminating
want to
myself with
know
that. But
would this happen
fuck it,
before or
YOLO.
after immigration?
That's the
Was
kids
this after
say
the immigrants
nowadays.
came to your country or before?
I'm fucking old, dude.
You don't know.
20.
Yeah, I'm gonna be 21 next year, buddy.
Fucking
So you
old
don't know
ass.
when the immigrants came to your country.
Shut up, you're old ass.
What the fuck?
So,
All right, next topic.
Bro,
next
this
on the
is the most
list.
fucking lamest podcast,
Shut
bro.
up.
No one's fucking talking or anything, bro.
No,
You
no,
shut
Nate
up,
hasn't
man.
said anything here.
Because
Yeah.
Nate's fucking gay, bro. He doesn't want to say
Nothing to
anything
do
all
with
the time, bro.
He want to
Shut
talk
up,
on
dude.
the
Yeah,
topic.
Thugs, bro.
Fuck this
So,
guy. He's
Go
shy.
back to
So,
posting
Mr.
thugs, bro.
Schizo, do you want to tell us about your jail experience for the people that weren't here?
Schizoid, Mr. Schizoid, Mr. Schizoid.
Yeah, tell us about your
Say it properly, son.
Mr.
It's
Schizoid.
Schizoid. It's Schizoid.
Schizoid. Tell us
Nice,
about
bro.
your jail experience.
So I went there, and I
No,
was
no.
in the
What did you
cell,
what
and I
did
was
you what
sitting.
did you go to jail for?
I went in for a toy gun.
That's it.
That was classified as a real gun. Yeah.
A toy
Man,
gun. What?
fuck Australia, dude.
Just drinking without a
Yeah, bro.
license.
Shitty ass
Anyway,
country, man.
shut up, dude. Anyways,
America better.
so like, shut up, dude. Anyways, so they took me in, and I went to have my own cell, and there was a guy, and he was sitting there, and he's like, "What are you in here for, pal?" He totally sounded like that. He wasn't Aussie at all, and he was like, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm in here for like a toy gun." And he's like, "Damn, I fucking killed somebody," and I was like,
Nice.
"That's crazy, bro." And then like, I
What
slept
do you
in that
do?
room with this guy for 7 days, and I was wondering,
Alright, so it sounds
yo,
like your
what's
best
going
should be.
on? What's going on with my life, dude?
You
Well,
was
how did
stroking
I
it.
end up here? What circumstances or choices did I make to end up in a place like this, bruh? And then one day I woke up and I went and I started to befriend the gypsies. And the gypsies were like a gang, so like they would trade and stuff, and I would go and give them stuff, and they would get me stuff because I was like an addict, so I was like addicted to stuff. So they would go and get me like cigarettes and like fentanyl and all this stuff, and they'd bring it to my cell, and I trade them like noodles and toilet paper for it. And then I would take it and I would smoke it, and it would make my life so much easier. I did that for like a month, and then they moved me to a different prison, and then I was like, "Fuck, bruh. Now I don't have my connection to the gypsies anymore." And they wouldn't let me bring all my contraband because they'd scan me and they'd find it, so I had to just leave it there for the other guy. And he was like, "Oh, thanks, bro. Sick cunt." And then when I went to the other prison, it was like, fuck, bro, I have to start all over again and fucking, find the connect. And I couldn't find any until I met the Asians, bro. And the Asians, they gave me the connect, bro. They gave me the connect, and I
Fresh
and I
batch.
managed to be able to get my fentanyl and cigarette supply again. And then I lived out the rest of my days in that prison until they let me out. They're like, "Oh, Mr. Schizoid, we sentence you to nothing because you did literally nothing wrong. We're gonna let you go without conviction." And I was like, "Thank you, Mr. Judge." And he's like, "No worries." And then I went home,
Yeah, but now
and it
you
was
can't
pretty
ever
cool.
buy a gun, right?
Yeah, because the police in Australia have this power that's given by the Supreme Court to essentially. So if they think you're like a dangerous criminal, or if you're going to like use weapons, or like you're like a bad guy, like, oh, this guy's gonna use guns or something. And it can be over like any crime. Like you don't even have to do like a violent crime. You can be like speeding, like really fast, like a fucking high like speed. Like they have to like arrest you type shit, not like fine you. And they can be like, yeah, but this guy's dangerous. Put an FPO on him, and that stands for Firearms Prohibition Order. And what this means is you not only can't own any guns, you can't own any weapons at all. And they have a privilege to search you, your property, your assets, any buildings you enter without any warrant.
I hope
So,
Australia's government burns the fuck down. Like, what the fuck is that?
so like a cop could
Because
walk
it's
in your house right now and be like,
It's the
"Hey."
police. It's the police. Yeah, so
It's
police.
literally a
But
police
but the
state,
thing
dude.
is, yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing. Listen, 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 listen. This is the thing, though. Sorry, I was hitting my vape. But anyways, this is the thing. They can only search for guns, weapons, and ammunition. If I were to walk into a house and they're like searching the house for weapons and they find like 10 kilos of coke, they can't do anything about it because they were there to search for firearms, weapons, and ammunition. So
I,
that's the only like good thing. So it's like they can't
I
they
don't
can't like
think that
do anything
makes
with
the
it.
situation about cops much better. Australia sounds like a borderline police state, bro.
Because
It
it
is.
is.
It
Because it
literally
is.
sounds like a control state.
Because it
I
is.
thought America was getting bad. What the fuck? Australia doing, dude?
Well, America's never gonna get bad. You guys have guns. If they try to take it away, you just kill everyone that tried to do that.
Americans are already letting them take them away. We're pussies.
I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that, dude. It seems like there's still guns roaming the country, like fucking
Okay,
all over.
well, there's about 25 million AR-15s.
Isn't in
Total.
Texas? Isn't it like every one person is like 4 guns?
Yeah, that's how it should be.
3.
Should be.
Shit, the moment I turn 18, I'm buying a fucking Colt.
You can't buy handguns
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, he's gonna buy a car so he can shoot his dad and then
Never
himself.
said I had to buy it legally.
True that.
Yeah, you can. You just can't buy
Oh
it
my
through.
god, Nate, shut up.
Yeah.
Why do you
can't-
want to buy? Why do you want to buy a gun illegally? Wouldn't that make you look like a criminal?
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, a lot of gun purchases aren't done through the actual gun stores here.
Yeah, man. The ATF don't know more than half the time.
Yeah, but it doesn't have the numbers. So if they ever caught you,
Yeah.
they'd be like, "You have an unregistered firearm and
You
you'd
have
go
a
to jail
ghost
for it."
gun. Nah. Shut the fuck up, bro. Fuck ATF. Abolish them.
So it's not the ATF, it's the police. The police would arrest you for having an
Fucking
unregistered
lowies.
Yeah.
firearm.
Yeah,
Ghost
the ATF
gun.
works for the police too.
Yeah, but they have the
Fuck 'em
right
all.
to, because like, what if you're a criminal? What if you're gonna use that to commit crime?
Yes, the innocent man who got pulled over is going to use it for a crime.
Well, they don't know if you're innocent. You might be
I don't
guilty.
care.
You might not be innocent.
The
You might be
ATF
innocent
should
right
not
now.
be
You
able to
might be
track
guilty.
what weapons I have. They shouldn't.
Well,
The government has no right to track
why?
what I own.
Yeah, but why? But why? Well, like, were you scared of something? Like, are you gonna do
No,
something wrong?
that's like saying, oh, the government being able to tap into your Gmail, you shouldn't be worried
That's
unless you're
different,
doing criminal
that's not something
activity.
like you can't do anything with Gmail. It's a gun. The gun's different.
That's not the
Unregistered gun.
point. You're missing the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is you're saying, okay, I'm giving an example, right? It's like this thing in America called the Patriot Act,
All right,
and
I'm
it's
gonna
literally
go okay for a sec. Just keep this alive. Be right.
it literally gives the government the right to tap into your fucking emails, tap into your calls, tap into your text without your
Yeah, but
fucking
that's
consent.
different, right? That's your personal, like, private shit. That, like, they
Yeah,
shouldn't
and
be
what I own is also my personal private
Right.
shit. They're
Yeah, but like
intruding on
an
my own
illegally,
individual
like an
liberties.
illegal, yeah, but an illegal firearm is an illegal firearm. Like, there's nothing illegal about owning a Gmail and talking on Gmail. There's nothing illegal about going on Discord and talking on Discord. I guess if you're like a fucking pedophile or a trafficker or something, then yeah, I guess you would get in trouble for that, right? But other than that, you'd be fine. Like, you're allowed to have those things. You're allowed to be on those things and do whatever the fuck you want with them. A gun is more like serious. Like, that's why when you go to a gun store, they do a background check to see if you're like a felon, and then like they register the firearm. So if you were to use the firearm or if it was to go missing, it wouldn't come back to you. That's like another thing. It's like also for your own safety. Because
But
if a
the
gun
point-
goes missing, because if let's say you buy an unregistered firearm, it goes
Mhm.
missing, it gets used in a crime, your fingerprints are all over it. They're gonna come to you. They're gonna be like, "Hey, you had an unregistered firearm that's been used in a crime. You're our prime suspect. We're gonna take you in. Now you're fucked." But if you had a registered gun, you could have just called the police the moment the weapon went missing. Say, "Hey, I have a registered firearm. It's gone missing. I don't know where the fuck it is. I don't want to be like get in trouble with anything. Can you guys like write it down, like list it down, notify someone?" They'll be like, "Yeah, no worries." So then, if your gun does come up in a crime, you won't go to fucking jail. You won't be the prime suspect. They'll probably
I mean, I
question you. They'll be,
guess,
"Oh, why?
yes.
How did you lose it? Like, where did you lose it? Like, when time?" Like, probably like shit like that. But they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're our prime suspect. We think you fucking killed this person because your gun was found there and has your fingerprints."
But let me ask you this: do you think the government should have the right to tell you how many guns you should own?
No, but I do think they have the right to know what you're doing with the guns.
Do you think they have the right to tap in your emails and your texts and your calls?
No, I don't think they should have the right to tap into your emails, but I think they should have the right to know what you're doing with your guns. That's what they do here. Like here, yeah, it's like really restrictive, but you can buy a gun, but you have to have a reason for it. Like you can't just go and buy a gun because you want a gun here. You have to be like, "Oh, I'm a hunter, I'm a gun collector, I shoot in sports, like I'm a sports shooting person. I shoot."
Yeah,
like,
and that's retarded. They
sports
shouldn't have
job.
to know what you're doing with your guns. I can understand why an unregistered firearm is a bad thing, but they should not have to know why you're owning this weapon. They should not
Yeah,
have
that's
to
fair.
know
That's
that.
fine, right? That's where like that's
Like I can understand the
yeah, but
unregistered
that's
firearm.
that's just opinion, right? Like that thing that you just brought up is an opinion. Like, oh, like the reason for it, or if you don't want a reason. Like in America, you don't need a reason because in America you can just do recreational shooting, right? You can go get a gun
Yeah,
and shoot at a shooting range,
usually.
right? But here they don't have
Usually.
that because they want more control in the guns, and that's just how it is. That's just like an opinion thing That's going to be
Like
different for every country.
in
But
Australia,
in every
what's like
country, you
the
should.
maximum like weapons you can own? Is there like a maximum if you are able to
There
own a
isn't.
weapon?
I don't think there's a maximum. I just think it depends on how many safes you have to store them. I think it's like about that. Because you have to store them, right? Like when you buy one, you either have to buy an expensive safe and put it in your house and put a code and make sure no one knows that code ever except you and the police. And then the other way you could store it is by having a. You can like rent a like at a gun store. You can like rent out a locker pretty much, and the guns will be like at a gun store until you come and decide to get them. But you have to pay
Yeah.
on money on that. It's like a renting a PO box.
And I assume like you can only have handguns and
The
like
gun limit in Australia is
shotguns and
10.
bolt action
No,
rifles or
you
something.
can you actually can't have handguns. Handguns are like
No
really fucking
handguns.
illegal here. Yeah, because
Damn, bro.
because there is no reason to use a handgun. Like you can't. There's no such thing as self defense here, so that's out the
Like,
window. So the only reason you'd be carrying a handgun is if you're police. Police, if you're some sort of really like high security, like an armed guard, like the cunts who guard those big trucks with the money, you can have a pistol if you're one of those, and maybe military, and that's it. Anyone else
Sweet.
having a pistol is it's like you're a gangster, like you're a criminal, like you're using it to like kill other criminals 'cause it's easier to conceal and hide and shit.
Are your cops even allowed to carry guns?
Yeah, they are. That's I just told you.
Like,
Police. The only cunts that can have handguns is police, like armored guards, like cunts who protect the trucks with money, and the military.
because like so I know some countries in Europe like you can't even like the cops don't even carry handguns and
Yeah, in the
barely
UK
even
that's
are
how it
allowed to
is.
have tasers.
In the
I got
Only
UK, they
batons and
only
shit.
in the UK they literally don't have guns. They have tasers and batons, and that's it.
Yeah, now look at them; they're burning down.
There
UK
was a
is literally
video.
collapsing.
There was a video in the UK, like a body cam, of 2 or 3 cops trying to arrest a man with a knife inside of an apartment complex, and it was such a dangerous situation. They like somehow managed to get his hand trapped, like because he was holding a door and he was like opening the door and like slicing out like with that small peak and the creak in the door, and then bringing his arm back and closing the door. And they managed to like when he swung out, they like jammed his arm on the door and were like holding the door on his arm, and they were like just stuck there because they couldn't do anything. They're like, oh well, now what the fuck do we do? Like, what do we tase him? Our tasers are already used. We're kind of fucked. So they tried to like baton his arm, and like they just didn't know what to do. And eventually he just dropped it and surrendered and gave up because they were like just sitting there doing nothing, and his arm
No,
was probably gonna probably
isn't
lose blood.
Australia's a parliamentary, aren't they? Democracy.
A what?
Parliamentary democracy.
I don't know what that is. A
Well,
parliamentary.
you have a parliament.
Yeah, we have a parliament. Yeah.
Okay, then parliamentary. I was wondering. I swear, for some reason, I can't remember if Australia is ever a like direct democracy or an indirect.
We're pretty democratic, I'd say, because even our voting is pretty like
Well,
good. Like for
post
example,
monarchy, like countries are usually democratic.
yeah, because how it works, because people you say monarchy, but we're not. Like we are, but we're not. Like trust, like
Well, like
we're
post monarchy, like right after.
yeah,
Most of
well
them are democracies.
yeah, well we became independent, right? Like yeah, we still have the Queen's birthday, which is like just one day of the year we get a public holiday, which is nice, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. We have the queen on like the back of the coin, and that's it. But for our politics, our like voting, who's in power, who controls our country, that's all done by voting. Like just like America, like you vote who you want, and they put that guy in power, and then you see if you're happy or not. And then the next few years, you vote again for the same guy, or you vote for someone else. But our
Like,
voting is a lot different. In America, you only vote for one person. Like you vote for one guy and his party. Yeah. So you either vote for Joe
I
Biden or you
mean,
vote for Donald Trump
you
or
vote
whatever
for
other candidate
senators
there
and
is,
stuff and House of Representatives, congressmen.
right? But here you vote for a whole party. So if you vote like
Um,
you, if you,
yeah,
so if you, if for example, if Joe Biden, if you voted for Joe Biden here, which it wouldn't be called Joe Biden, it'd be called his name of his party. You'd vote for
yeah.
them, and then he would be the president, and then he would have his own senators, and then they'll have their own like so on and so on and so on.
Yeah, that sounds like shit to me.
That's
Yeah,
how we do it
well,
here.
and
Democracy is
how
That's
the
how
bad
you do it
voting
enough
all over the
already.
world.
and how the voting works is so we do preference votes. So there's no you vote for one guy, that's it, fuck off. Here it's you vote for like 4 people, like 3, 4 people, and you put it in like a preference order. So for example, there'll be like multiple parties on the paper, there'll be the main ones at the top. If you're going for the main ones at the top, you only pick one, so you
Wait,
can
so
do
you guys
that kind
have
of
like
voting.
red and blue or what?
We have a bunch of shit, bro. We have because we have like left wing, and then we have like the like traditional like left wing and traditional right wing and modern right wing and all this like fucking sub
Yeah.
like
That's
kind
not,
of like
that's, that's not
politics.
really unique
you
to
you
Australia.
would think the parliament would like be like the parliamentary system would be a whole lot more centralized, but it seems like America is 5 times more centralized when it comes to power. Even though we're not voting for an entire party at once, but we're still somehow more
Yeah,
centralized when
if you,
only two parties rule the majority, and then like on the back burner you have the Green Party and like the Libertarian Party and the Independents,
yeah,
and
well,
they
we
don't
have
even
a
get
great
voted in.
we have greens and we have all that too, but this is the thing, right? Because we have preference voting, okay? How it works is, let's say I vote for a fucking party no one gives a fuck about, but I love that party. Let's say there's like a weed party, like a cannabis party, which we have, and I'm like, oh, I want to vote for these guys. I wish they would get in power. I can put it as one, and then maybe there's like another party that I like, like, oh, the Greens. Maybe I like the Greens. I'll put that as two, and then if I'm like, well, fuck, in case these two don't win, you can still put a third and a fourth, and usually people will put Liberal or Labour. Liberal being right wing and Labour being left wing. And usually what happens is, because Liberal or Labour are usually the cunts who wins, it's always Liberal or Labour. Like, there's never the Greens, never anyone else. It's always Liberal or Labour. They go by the first, second vote. They go, okay, these cunts are getting like fuck all votes, so we're going to take your third vote and throw it into Liberal because you voted for Liberal as number 3. So it's always Liberal or Labour that win, anyways. But it's just nice to give like parties that you like another chance, instead of just going, oh, I'm not going to vote for them at all. I don't give a fuck. Fuck them. They're not going to win anyways. You can at least like give your support that way.
Well, I feel like what would you say in like Australia's like at least a little bit about American politics, I assume.
A
Like
little
at least
bit,
a
yeah.
little.
I mean, it looks like a fucking comedy show from
It
where I'm
is. It's
sitting.
fucking horrific. But like like Republicans are usually like at least most of the time are like rootin' tootin' gun shooting motherfuckers, right?
Republicans,
And then you got
Republicans is the right wing, right?
yeah, they're considered right wing. They're more
Okay.
like far right. The politicians at least. Socially
Yeah.
they're more conservative. And then you got like then you got Democrats who are becoming like
Left wing.
increasingly they're left wing, but they're like being increasingly more like collectivist, socialist, welfare type shit. When they used to be kind of liberalish. When liberals are technically just conservatives. Like in America, like American liberalism at one point was just conservatism, but like they supported gay marriage.
When I think
And
of liberal, I think of like LGBTQ plus. I think of legalized drugs. I think of banned guns. I think of we should give poor people money from the government so they're not on the street. We
yeah.
should give them a free house. We
Pretty
should
much.
help
That's usually how it
immigrants.
is now for Americans, American liberalism. Like it used to be literally every American used to be the exact same, except they may have had a contrast regarding like the free market and gay marriage. That was like the only difference at one point. And now most of your left wing are like borderline socialist, borderline Marxist, borderline Stalinist type shit. At least the younger generations are. The older
I don't know.
generations are still socially liberal.
I don't really see. Like, I don't know. I don't really. It depends on the country, man. Because sometimes socialism just works. Like with our country, it works. But
Well,
that's
with a
because
smaller country, when you have a smaller
our
population,
country
it
is
could
not
work.
small, bro. Our
I know,
country is literally the sixth biggest country in the
but
world.
like you might have the universal health care and all that. Who's paying for it?
The tax.
Taxpayers.
So
Exactly.
taxpayers pay. So, anyways, but
Exactly.
the thing is, right? The difference is, it's just like every other thing. Like, you know how like schools is public and there's private.
Uh,
We did the same thing with the medical system. So you can either go public or you can go private. And public's usually free or discounted, cheaper, and private usually is a bit more expensive. But even that, even with private healthcare, you can get like a discount if like
well,
you're
I
like
think
not
I
very
think
rich.
medical care should be privatized. I think most things should be privatized. Like
Well,
I
the
don't think
problem that
to fix a
leads,
homeless problem, I don't think letting the government take care of it is going to fix shit.
yeah,
You
but
need to leave
the
it up to the local community and to charities. Privatize charities and
yeah, but then
encourage
what
them.
happens, right, is you have things like America where people are like, there'll be people going, I just broke my fucking leg. and they'll be like not going to the fucking hospital because they can't afford it, and they just go and fucking like eat shit and just like try to sleep it off. Like people get shot there and just like not go to the hospital because they probably
Well,
can't afford it.
Do you have
big-
any
that's a
knowledge of
big ass
America beyond stereotypes?
Yeah, like what the fuck, dude?
What do you
This is a
mean? That's what I've
regurgitated
seen.
stereotype.
I've seen
That
most
doesn't
people I've
happen.
seen most people I've seen in America are like, yeah, bro, like I'm not trying to get fucking injured because fucking the price just at the hospital is
Yeah,
fucking
and those are
ridiculous.
usually like TikToks or Instagram videos of people exaggerating.
No,
on
that's like
purpose.
people I know. That's like people I know.
People
Yeah, but
you know.
here- I have no, but here's the thing: I have first-hand experience with the American healthcare system. It is expensive. You can't sugarcoat it. Really,
Oh no, it's expensive.
it is
Not sure
terribly
for that.
expensive. And I feel like if the government shipped in at least a little bit, you could take some of that fucking, or at least helped.
But you have to also understand the America is 35 trillion in debt. We are 35 trillion in debt to not only our own banks, but we're also in debt to fucking foreign countries like China and literally most of Asia. We're
Why are you
literally in
all-
debt to a lot of Asia.
Yeah, but why are you the only one in debt? I feel like
Fucking
you guys haven't
Canada's
really been
just a
complaining.
Government
Canada's not like that.
spending. Government spending doesn't help, and all we do is our politicians take lobbying money from the corporations, and then we vote. Our politicians proceed to vote on the corporate interests, and then we proceed to also give money to Israel, give money to Taiwan, give money to Ukraine, and then we also proceed to give more money to the same countries that those countries bombed.
But that means you do have money. Why can't you just spend it inland?
There's a little thing called printing money. They literally print the fuck out of money, and it's going to make the U.S. dollar worth jack shit. And you're already in 35 trillion debt.
Yeah, even though you have debt, you still spend. So I don't see the problem with just to reallocate the money. You know,
Where are you going to reallocate it? When you're running low, when you're running so
Healthcare?
low on money.
well, even if you're running low on the money, oh shit.
Sorry about that, fellas.
Are you playing Tarkov?
AFK.
Wait, who's playing Tarkov?
Are you playing Tarkov?
What?
Me? No.
No.
No, I went AFK for a second. I had to do something real quick. My bad.
I swear I heard a Tarkov sound.
No, I feel like even though there's not enough money, I know you're in debt, but like most countries on Earth are in debt to some corporation or whatever. Even though you're in debt, I feel like you can ignore the debt to at least help your population expand and maybe enrich your country ever so slightly, even though if it's not much, at least make some
Yep.
effort, even though you're in debt.
But you know
I
what
feel
America does instead?
What does America do
Gives money
instead?
to fucking UN and foreign countries. Literally what they do.
Yep.
America
That's what you
either
guys are expected to do.
they're either giving taxpayer money to a foreign country, they're either giving it to the fucking UN, giving it to the World Health Organization.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the money's still
I'm
doing
back.
wonders, but yeah, there could be some better expenditures and spendings inland instead of.
I'm gonna say it. And the
Exported.
problem is democracy is the problem in America because it's so fucking centralized.
Yes.
And the only thing they care about is satisfying their corporate overlords.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah.
99% of American politics is satisfying political corporate overlords. Literally, I can think of a couple politicians who probably don't do that, and it's very slim number.
Donald Trump.
No,
God bless capitalism, eh?
Donald Trump is the Antichrist.
yeah, God bless corporatocracy.
Here's the
Mr.
thing.
Beast is the Antichrist.
He likes to
Thing-
see strippy.
I mean, dude, he
Thing is,
literally
I
cured
d-
blindness.
bro.
Who? Who cured blindness?
Mr. Beast.
What the fuck? Okay, bro.
He is the
The King
Messiah.
Saltbox, bro.
I think so. I think there is a slight solution to this, and I believe that starts with just ignoring their corporate overlords because corporates don't really have any power outside of their fucking fat stacks. I don't.
Yeah.
A corporate
But,
can't really. I don't. There's very few corporates that have a private army. I don't feel like they have that much reinforcement over
I
their
mean, yes, but
garbage.
if the politicians are getting all these kickbacks from it, they ain't gonna fucking stop.
No. I know they don't have any incentive to stop, which is I
Exactly.
feel like why there needs to be a reform on that level as well.
Yeah, I agree with mass reform in America
It's a tricky situation.
because you're on the verge. You're not verge. You're on the verge of shut the fuck up, bro. You're moving from a bloody democracy that is becoming ever so centralized, and you're moving towards a I'm gonna say it, literally a corporatocracy. Because Lockheed Martin, Boeing, all those motherfuckers are literally in the back pockets. McDonald's is in the back fucking pockets of them, dude.
All right, just quick announcement, by the way. We are 30 minutes and 45 seconds in.
Wow,
been a bunch of
That's crazy, bro.
Literally,
Not
the first
minutes.
the first 30 minutes or first 20 minutes were about Australian politics.
Yeah, it was. And then I went AFK for like 5 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was eating pizza and I was listening to y'all just spewing and glapping all over my ears about how.
it's your
Why do you
About
have
how,
to
like, Donald
fucking make
Trump.
it sound like
yeah.
fucking so weird, bro?
Donald Trump will save us, Donald Trump, save us.
Back to topic.
Donald Trump,
Back to
please
topic.
save us, Donald Trump.
That's you said something about McDonald's, and that made me think about something. Grocery prices. There's
I
this.
thought you were gonna say it made you think about food.
Oh no. Or yes, but also no. But there, I feel like there's something about the grocery prices increasing. Oh shit! Grocery prices increasing, and the whole thing about I don't know. It's something that's bothering
It is
me
off.
about the fast food market and the grocery prices. Like they're way off balance, especially in the States.
True that.
Mhm.
They had to. Fast food had to put up their prices, right? But
Oh yeah.
if contrast is significant. Wendy's, for
Oh, yeah.
example. Wendy's is possibly the cheapest fast food restaurant in America, like on a wide scale at least. That's like corporately everywhere. As compared to me having to go, like if I were to go buy a frozen baconator from a store rather than the Wendy's one, it's gonna cost me like $6 or $7 more.
Yeah.
And say 5 years ago, prior to COVID, I guess, we get food stamps, right? Because I have me and my dad. It's me, my dad, and my sister. We get food stamps, and we used to be able to buy a full fucking pantry and fridge full of shit for less than $200, and now we're getting half that for literally $200. Just the other day, all we went and bought was some ground beef, some pork chops, and some like ramen and shit, right? And
Yep.
of course, milk and tea bags. $200 for all of it,
Yes.
and that's only gonna last us like a week.
Exactly. It's not gonna hold this fucking economy.
It's fucked, and especially with how bad the fucking meat is. And I'm almost convinced that the grocery stores bring it in frozen and then unthaw it because that shit does not last. It does not last.
It doesn't.
Like if I don't use that ground beef in the first 3 days, it's fucking gone. It's like it turns brown and goes bad.
Yeah, it
Same with pork
oxidizes.
chops. It's fucking disgusting.
I can relate to this whole incident because in Europe, when the Ukraine war started, food prices skyrocketed, and everyone said, "Oh, the short supply, food running low." But that doesn't explain why milk goes up in price. It's certain things that are exported from like Ukraine, for example, that they stopped exporting that went up in price, but doesn't explain that everything else went up in price. And that's when it was exposed that there was a really big or like a groceries chain here in Sweden that were pretty much using this as an excuse to just artificially inflate prices. And they got away with it. That's the problem. They got away with it.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, other chain grocery stores, they up the prices slightly due to inflation after the big guy up the prices. But
Yeah.
that's the problem, because they have sort of like a faux monopoly kind of on the grocery stores, and that's not good at all. That's not good at all, especially
Yeah.
when things like this happen locally, when there's a war locally, and you like, oh no, um, inflation, we gotta up the prices, buddy, give us money, shit like that.
The biggest, like, probably the biggest American monopoly would be fast food.
Yes.
And I don't see people talking about it enough, because I don't think people realize, I don't think they think about it enough about just how much corporate money is going into the back pocket of the people we elect. I don't think we think about it whatsoever, like, especially Americans. That's why I say Americans just seem generally fucking retarded to me half the time.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't think about the shit our government's doing. We don't even look at the average American doesn't even look at which politician voted on what. Like the Patriot Act. There's like people that are conservatives, for example. They're vote Republican all the time, and Republicans are voting on the exact same anti-gun, anti-free speech acts as the Democrats are. But the Republicans or the conservatives are so far up their own asses about hating the opposite side, they don't realize that Republicans are voting on the exact same shit. They're literally in cahoot with each other, both sides, two wings of the same bird. Like the Patriot Act gave the government the ability to tap into all our shit, right?
Yeah.
You know, most of the Republicans and Democrats all voted yes. There was a handful of Republicans and Democrats that voted no, and those same people proceed to get reelected again by the
Mhm.
Americans who supposedly hate and are anti-government, but they don't look into this shit. They don't see. You can literally go to the like Capitol Hill website or whatever the fuck and look at who voted what on each bill. No one does it. Barely anybody does it, and they just keep voting in the same retards that make everything fucking worse.
So
It's either pure
I had a
stupidity that.
question for
Wait, hold on.
yeah.
It's either pure stupidity that's being peddled by these parties, or it's some sort of like elaborate. I wouldn't say shadow government, but like, ooh, it's getting there. It's getting there.
I mean, I might even say it's right on the doorstep.
It might be. Sorry, Ramsey. What did you say?
So I was gonna say, like the whole Europe Ukraine thing does it like ever concern you? Because as Americans, like we never had war on the same soil as us at all. But like knowing that you're just countries away that are as big as our states, and there's a war happening, does that ever like freak you out or anything?
I wouldn't say it freaks me out. It most definitely is close, But here's the thing: we live across a big ass lake. The closest country to Ukraine that I would be worried about is Poland. But not here. I wouldn't say it's a problem here. War wise, there is a lot of refugees from Ukraine that come here, both Russian and Ukrainian. But I wouldn't say I had to worry about war. We have gotten threats from Russia before for joining NATO.
Like
Which
from a Swedish perspective or European perspective, do the Europeans generally think that like we're really close to a World War III, or is that just like a regurgitated American topic?
No, I would say that's a fucking universal thought at this point. We're on such the brink of war right now.
Yeah, Southeast Asia is untalked about as well, because Southeast Asia is getting fucking horrible. And not to mention you have Poland threatening to join. You have all the Baltics threatening to join with Ukraine, and
the Scandinavians
really
too.
Fucking UN is threatening the fuck out of everything. The UN and Russia's going back and forth with each other.
Well, I'm thinking
and
right now
using Ukraine as a puppet at this point.
That the election in America is literally teeter-tottering of what is going to happen for war.
I think we're fucked either way, bro.
Nah, dude, Trump's got that in the bag.
Trump getting elected is not going to stop whatever bullshit our politicians are going to do in Capitol Hill. Not to mention, Trump is not hard enough on the same federal agencies and meddling in foreign affairs, which they've been doing since the 50s. I mean, if you go back to FDR, it is literally why America has a hand in every fucking pot. Why do you think everybody hates America, dude? We have a hand in every pot. We have a hand literally everywhere in the world, and all we do is try to topple governments and shit and meddle in their affairs.
Yeah, Americans are really liked worldwide.
Yeah, they love us, man.
Yeah.
Guys are
They
amazing.
love Americans.
My
God
country
bless.
loves you guys.
God bless.
God bless America, son. Vote for Trump.
This is
God
God's
bless.
I think there's
country.
one. I think there's only like one country that will ever like fully back up America, and that might be Canada.
Kosovo. They
Could be.
exist.
They
God bless.
exist.
I think if that Pierre guy, it rules
Oh
for
yeah,
a while.
Pierre's gonna make my country good, dude. My government's
Yeah,
the
but
best.
he's an
My country's
Israel
the best.
shill though.
Well,
Unfortunately,
aren't most politicians?
yes, but that'll make it good.
Yeah.
Trump goes back and forth between being a shill and like not agreeing with Israel. He goes back and forth. He's trying to play his base so hard so he can get elected because like the evangelical Christians in America who are like really flippy floppy on their ideals and shit, they'll flop from supporting Israel like to the full extent, like destroy all the Middle East, give all of it to Israel, they all own it, blah blah blah. And then the other side of the evangelicals are like, woo, trans rights, gay marriage, fuck Israel. And Trump's trying to appeal to, because evangelicals are increasingly becoming like a large group of Christians, even though they're kind of heretical and like Christianity, traditional
Yes.
Christianity. But it's like Trump's trying to appeal to both sides of evangelicals, and at the same time trying to like pander to Catholics and shit. And he just flips flops on certain issues. He says one thing, he says another. And I mean, he doesn't go hard enough on like fucking with the federal government. He just says, right in the swamp. And then he doesn't talk about any of the 493 federal agencies that are all taking money from us
Yep.
for no fucking reason. And fucking with other countries as well at the same time. I rest my case.
Oh, buddy. I feel
Back
like
to the topic about the grocery prices. Have you seen the prices for normal ass groceries in Canada?
What
No,
are they?
'cause
How
nobody
bad?
talks
Horrible.
about that place.
How much is a regulars like Subway sandwich in the U.S. for you guys? It's like a
$6.
Uh,
$6.
it's sick. It's about $20 for like a
For me, it's about
normal
$9.
for a
Wait,
foot
for how
long?
long?
For a foot
Oh,
long?
for a
$20 to
foot long for me is
$60.
about for a foot long over here is usually about 13 to 15
Oh,
for
baby,
me.
we still got $5.
It's like
$7,
bro.
We still got $5 foot longs. down
Shit,
here.
motherfucker, my local
country's
Subway is
unbelievably
expensive.
cooked as long as Justin Trudeau is in the run.
We got $5 foot longs.
That guy thinks he's a
bro.
homosexual. He thinks he's an Indian. He thinks he's a bit of everything.
It's also Fidel Castro's
Have you seen
cousin.
pictures of him at the gay pride parades? Seems a little too
Yes.
happy to be
Is he
there.
like one of those guys that has his penis out when he like walks around? He's
No,
like-
but he
he's
seems a
like,
little
"Hey,
bit too happy to
kids,
be
Look
there.
at my cock.
No,
Did
he's
they
just
actually,
too happy to be there.
like, do they universally have nude people at like pride
Yes.
parades in Europe and shit in Canada?
Yes.
Like, is that a widespread thing?
I think it's
Not
only
everyone.
certain events though.
Yeah. You guys have like events for that shit, but not like gay pride, just like sex events in the US and like California.
Well, we
and shit.
have gay
California.
pride parades, but they don't ever like flash their penis and shit.
Sometimes.
Like the worst they've ever done is like flash their titty.
no, they do.
That's literally like the
totally
worst I've
I
seen.
mean, but there's some like events.
Other
that
than
are just,
humping
like, all
kids.
about nudity.
I saw people humping kids a couple times.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
have,
Man.
I have a suggestion for the podcast. You should put like
We're
gameplay
still on it.
for people to watch. Yeah, you should put gameplay for
Yeah,
people
I
to
was
watch.
gonna
Like,
Subway
they have
Surfers at the bottom.
ADHD.
I was gonna put this in the corner and then have like something playing or something.
Or play a game or something with like no volume, so that people with ADHD they don't get like bored.
H.
Put Subway Surfers in the bottom of it.
With some fucking like
I hope
CS
Pierre gets
knife racing or
elected.
whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, I'll put CS surfing.
No, I hope gets elected because immortal. Ron Paul.
God bless.
Go.
God bless.
I think they should just bring back.
Fed. In the
I think they
Fed.
should just. I think they should just bring back Theodore Roosevelt, bro.
Yeah,
Alright.
trust.
Yeah, just resurrect him.
Alright,
dude.
are we done? Are we
We
done?
should have never let that motherfucker Wilson,
Are we
create
done?
the
It's been
fucking
45
Federal
minutes.
Reserve. Yes.
Well,
No,
we
no.
didn't really have a choice.
Okay, well,
No,
this is
we didn't.
closing
We should
out.
have fucked him.
Kind of did it in the middle of the night, bro.
This has been fun. This was the episode 1 of the ThugCast.
Thanks,
the
this is Schizoid. Thank you for watching and listening to the Thuggington podcast, episode 1, where we talked about immigration and politics. I hope you be back for episode 2, where we will be talking about something else other than immigration and politics. Thank
And
you.
I'm King
Have a nice
Saw.
day or night.
Yes,
Shut
to
up,
me,
King Saw.
Ramsey. Nate, go ahead. Do your little outro.
I don't have an outro to give.
I hate you, Nate. All right, anyways, Ice
You
Thrower,
barely talked, dude.
You took my friend. Please.
What, Ramsey?
go ahead. Say your goodbyes.
This is X-Roller. Goodbye.
Caleb, close us out. Close us out, brother. Close us out.
This is Caleb in the fucking federal government.
You took my friend request.
Dude.